Hello and welcome back to Drippy Drez. I'm sure we were all very affected by my previous song, and I'm sure that it'll inspire and move people and lead them to a better lifestyle. As you all saw in podcast 7.5, I promoted a video where Joseph Gordon-Levitt talks about feminism. For those of you who haven't watched it yet, I included a link in the description below. I'm usually not a big fan of trying to learn from movies because, I'm a firm believer that, fictional stories should be made, primarily for the purpose of entertainment, and trying to compare fictional stories to real life is no better than procrastination, because all that time spent doing that could be spent, comparing real life to real life. However, my favorite movie that I've seen Joseph Gordon-Levitt in is very much a movie that compares fiction to real life. However, that doesn't bother me because it is based on a true story. And according to the screenwriter, Scott Newstander, who obviously, it's based off of his real life. It's based off of part of his life, claims that the movie is about 75% accurate. And I also included a link in the description below on why the movie is accurate. And 500 Days of Summer is about a failed relationship between a guy named Tom and a girl named Summer. It is one of the most misunderstood movies of all time, and the reason being that most people watch it through the perspective of Tom when they're supposed to be watching it through the perspective of Summer. Yes, even when Summer isn't on screen, you're supposed to be watching it through her perspective. You're also not supposed to watch it as if it's a fictional story. You're supposed to be watching it, as if it's real life, because obviously, it happened in real life. And besides its story and messages, I can highly recommend it due to its cinematography, music, characters, and acting. The movie contains some of the most memorable performances I've seen from Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Zooey Deschanel, and Matthew Gray Gubler. For those of you who don't know who Zooey Deschanel is, she played Jovi in the movie Elf. And then for those of you who don't know who Matthew Gray Gubler is, he was in Criminal Minds. The characters are some of the most relatable I've ever seen. When I first watched it, I was definitely a Tom at the beginning, but because of this movie, I'm now a Paul. Paul is who Matthew Gray Gubler plays. He's Tom's best friend. The music not only lines up with what's going on in the movie and the themes of the movie, but it also lines up with the characters. Like, most of the songs obviously line up with Tom's character, but like when Summer sings and when Mackenzie sings, like their songs line up with their characters. And yeah, not all movies I've seen, have songs that fit well with the theme of the movie. Even the camera shots and other methods that were used for storytelling made the movie more entertaining, and I would say that the cinematography for this movie is the best I've seen since Terminator 2, which I will talk about some other time. The reason I am recommending this movie is not only because I think most people would like it, but also because like the themes of this movie really line up with some of the previous things I've talked about on my podcast. Where, in Shrek 2, I mentioned how it challenges the idea of like guy meets girl and she's supposed to want to be with him regardless of what she actually wants or feels. And in 500 Days of Summer, you see how that mindset would play out in real life. And even besides like romantic lessons, the movie has other messages as well, and I really think that even if people have already learned these lessons, like there's really are some great elements to relate to, or For some people, they just might think the movie is funny and entertaining. Yes, it does have some funny parts, as it is a romantic comedy, but it's not your average romantic comedy, as it is not a love story. It is a story about love. Well, thank you for listening to Drippy Drez, and feel free to hit that like and subscribe button, and feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. I hope you all watch the movie, and I hope you all enjoy it, and I will talk to you guys on Friday.